All right.
And you started over? All
Yeah.
right, dude. I was laughing halfway through that. All right,
Okay.
give you the 5, 4,
I do
3,
it every
2, 1.
time. The intro and the whatever, the outro. I
The
screw 'em all up.
extra, you're worse at the extra, though. So we're
For sure.
working on it.
All right, Casey, we're gonna pick it up here in 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Pavement Group podcast. We're talking lots today. I am so excited. Today is Trey Tipton Day on the podcast. Tony and I have been trying to get our act together here for the last 30 days. Between the two of us, we've picked up just about every virus known to man. And we're finally feeling well enough. We got our voices back. Tony, how you feeling? You look good.
Dude, I'm feeling good. I think I'm at a tough let's put it at 92%, you know? That stuff kind of hung out for way too long, but I'm feeling good. How about you?
Much better. Yeah, it just kept like boomeranging. I don't know what it was, but ran through. We had our company Christmas party, and after that, everybody just started falling like dominoes. Yeah, it's been a bad few weeks. So, Trey Tipton, welcome to the podcast, my friend. How are you?
I'm good, man. I appreciate y'all for having me.
Yeah, you bet. Did you get it from the Christmas party? Did you get any of that, whatever it was that was going around?
Bro, I had a mad bad stomach flu after that Christmas party, bro, and I was trying to keep it together, bro, but it got real over here real fast.
It got real. Yeah, I hear you. Everybody was just at some point got whacked with something. It was like a super spreader Christmas party. So we'll do it again next year. It was a fun party.
I think it was that Santa that came. He was the guy that probably gave it to us all.
He had to, because he made sure that you didn't win too, Tony. That was kind of bull
exactly.
on my
That's I still got a lot of animosity towards Bob Bernard right now, but I'm gonna hold that in.
The guys are referencing the ugly sweater contest that Tony went all out on. I mean, he had shoes on. He had elf shoes on. Looked like a lock. And then Bob Bernard, who's one of our business development guys, shows up with 20 Christmas ornaments filled with Starbucks gift cards and gave them out to everybody. And he just kind of bought the contest. I think. I mean, it was great. It was creative.
Definitely bought it. It was good.
But hey,
money talks.
Second place, Tony. Nothing wrong with second place.
First loser, Todd. That's what you call that.
Well, ironically, Trey knows nothing about that. He's been winning his entire life. That's a segue in the business, folks. That's a segue. But so Trey came to work with us about 7 months ago.
About seven now.
Okay, and a Pittsburgh guy, born and raised, went to college here. Trey's got a really deep roots in the community and has done some really special things. We're going to talk about a lot of that stuff, but I wanted to start out with, will you tell our audience here what your role is at the Pavement Group? Because it's pretty unusual. It's the first of a kind for us, and you're killing it, by the way. But tell us a little bit about what you do day to day and what your role is.
So essentially what I do day to day, man, is just find opportunities for us to give back, right? At the end of the day, that's what it's about. That's why I signed up to be a part of this team. That is why I'm here to this day, is because I am the person that's supposed to be helping us give back. Now, why is that important to me is because since I was a kid, the only thing that I ever wanted to be was a superhero, right? And I wasn't going to get on a team that didn't give back or didn't believe that they can change the world and or didn't think that they can promote change. When I sat down with Brian, he was like, nah, man, like, this is something that we want to do. This is something that I believe in. And I was like, if you believe in that, then that's a leader that I can get behind. Because me personally, bro, I have a tough time following people, man. But from you guys, bro, you guys have been a great group of guys. So it's been a lot easier on me to do this than anything, man. So I'm appreciative of you boys as well, more than anything as well. Tony, always my dog, and Todd, bro. It's been fun getting to know you as well. So I can definitely say, man, what got me here was to be an agent of change, and that's why I'm here right now. So my role really just realistically allows me to be able to help people find money, essentially, right? We give money, we help give back, we show people the difference of giving, right? So it's nice to see that people can give without expecting anything in return, and that's what we do really well.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. How did you get such deep roots in the community? Because you came in, and by the way, like your energy, just the positivity you bring and the fun you bring to the office we'd probably pay you to do nothing, quite frankly, because you're so fun to be around. But you know everybody, and you know where the need is. And you've been able to help us get in touch with some amazing organizations, helping out children in the community, athletes, businesses that need some help. How did you build such a deep network?
Man, honestly, it was my 7-year stint at the University of Pittsburgh, man. Playing football there, bro, I was able to make some crazy connections and then be able to utilize my name to allow me to help the community, right? Because as an athlete, bro, we have opportunity to be superheroes in front of these kids, right? So it's like, who's taking the opportunity to do so? Like, who's taking a chance on your community? And I couldn't sit back and just feel like I wasn't doing anything, right? So I took a chance, bro. I started getting in the community, started talking to people, started networking. And then from there, I'm also a Pittsburgh kid. So like people watch me from when I was in high school and then going into the University of Pittsburgh and being able to play at that high level, my
Hmm.
name started to flurry around a little bit. And then from there, man, when they found out that I really cared about people, the whole world blew up on it. They started giving me awards and a whole bunch of different other stuff that we'll get into another time.
That's
But
awesome
definitely was a blessing, man, just
stuff.
because it's about the community, man. It's not so much about you. If you're living this world just for yourself, then you want a selfish person, man, and I can't afford to be around you. So I didn't want to be one of those
That's it.
people.
A quick question about some of the things that you've attached the pavement group to of giving out there in the community. I know it's going to kind of be a surprise to everybody when you tell them your connection to a certain sports figure and the charity that we gave to before that charity became the charity that everybody's talking about. Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, man. So who he's referencing, man, is a close teammate of mine. His name's Damar Hamlin, and man, that experience alone, man, I was part of his recruiting process a little bit, trying to convince him to come to the University of Pittsburgh, and he ended up picking the school on his own with his family, man. And then ever since then, we just built a relationship. I text him here and there, man. He gives good conversation, always gives me advice as well as I give him advice. And yeah, that moment when everybody became very known of who Damar Hamlin is, bro, it was very scary for me, and I know it can only be so much more scarier for his family and his close friends. So it was definitely something that I was very happy to say that we were able to donate to and be able to help him out in his fight. You know what I'm saying? To be able to help the kids in his community, which is considered one of the worst communities in Pennsylvania. Um, it means the world to me to see him being able to breathe again, to be alive, and to be able to do the things that he's currently doing. Because if you think what he did while he was asleep was changing the world, wait till you see what he's about to do right now.
Right. It's amazing to hear his message now, and it's exciting that he's a Pittsburgh guy, and that we and you here at the Pavement Group might have something to do with that, because I know you've got some good things up in your mind about what we can do to help that at least that charity out.
100%, man. And it's definitely all about us as giving back to the community, man, to the kids who don't have the opportunity to fight back on their own. Because let's be realistic here, right, boys? Like, the lifestyle that these kids live are a lot different than we ever lived, right? They got social media on all levels. So now the violence is happening at such a young age because these kids already know about everything. You can't hide anything anymore, right? So to see on what's going on over there, man, it's we have to do our due diligence and making sure that we give back and be able to not just only give money but give time, right? So
Right.
that's what we're doing on our end at the Pavement Group, man, and it's been a blessing because y'all have done nothing but say yes and let's help, let's help, let's help, man, and that's the real reason why I love being here.
No,
Gotcha.
it's so much better when you can do it together, and you build. Part of the one team that we're going to be talking a lot about this year is also about building community, but it starts by building a strong foundation within the community. So Damar's charity, when we donated, I think it was at like 20,000 or 25,000, and then last I saw it was over like $10 million.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where it's at today. That was probably a week or two ago. But will you talk? Do you know it pretty intimately, like what that charity, who benefits from that, and
Yeah, so basically, who benefits from all that money is it's not DeMar directly himself. It's the Mars Foundation. So the Mars Foundation is geared toward helping the kids in Stowe Rocks, aka McKees Rocks, and the kids over there they definitely need it, man. So that $10 million is not just going to help DeMar, but it's going to help his town. It's going to help his city,
that's
and
so
those
cool?
kids really need it. They really, really need it. And DeMar's been an agent of change over there in McKees Rocks since he's been in college, right? So
Mhm.
everybody's just now hearing about this toy drive, man. But he's been at it for a very long time, man. So
Yep.
kudos to that man over there because he's definitely been killing it, bro, and he's been killing it for a very long time. And it's nice to see that he's finally getting the recognition that he deserves.
He
Awesome.
played at Central Catholic.
Yeah, man, he's a Central kid, unfortunately.
Okay. Did you
I'm not a
did you
fan
guys
of
play
Central.
it? You were at Apollo Ridge, right?
Yeah, I was
Did
at
you
a
play against
small
each other?
little school, little school, man. We never got a chance to play against each other, bro, but we knew all about each other. I mean, the
Okay.
city's such a small city, so
Hey
you know
Todd,
all
where
the
does
kids
he
over
play? Where
there.
does he play now?
I know where he plays now, Tony.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that.
That's good. Yeah, they're sitting right next to us on the bench watching the football.
You'll.
All right. I get it. Tom
That's
Brady retired, Dave. That's a whole nother episode. But yeah,
it.
Now
Did you
that's
cry with Did you cry with Tom yesterday, or
Tom got choked up. Oh, that's a big
it was
thing,
it was
you know?
kind of emotional.
It
It
was.
was.
No, it was
He
good.
did it the right way though.
I
Yeah,
think
he
he
did.
did. He
Yeah,
got.
he did.
I saw him on the video on Instagram this morning. I'm flipping through, and I thought it was Justin Bieber. He looks like he's 18 years old still.
Too funny. He
It's
does.
incredible.
Man, that's what stress does to you, man. That's what I
Yeah,
mean. The
it
stuff that he
does.
went through this year.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
Did you happen
yeah.
to listen to Peyton today or yesterday talk about it?
No,
No,
I didn't get a
Uh,
chance.
so uh, so Al Payton, like last year, he wrote this pretty elaborate letter of all this stuff, and he gave him a bottle of wine and all that stuff. And then he comes back and he unretires. So Peyton wanted his bottle of wine back, and he never got the bottle of wine back. Right?
he's
Yeah,
funny.
never sent him the letter back. So he goes, so I'm not sending him nothing this year. He got his stuff last year, so it's
That's
pretty
great.
funny. Check
I
that
like
out.
the Manning brothers. They're pretty funny.
Yeah, they're good. They're good
They're
Um,
dudes.
hilarious.
so Trey, in high school, you got a lot of accolades and a lot of awards for your athletics. In college, you got recognized a lot for again what you did in the community, and that started to build, I think, this journey that you're on. You went to study communications, and then you got your MBA in social work, which obviously sets you on a path to help people, right?
Right.
And you got the Disney Spirit Award, or you won the Disney Spirit Award in 2021 for the most is it philanthropic athlete in the country?
Most inspirational.
Inspirational, which is amazing. I mean, do those mean more to you? You won the Wilma Rudolph Student Athlete Achievement Award as well, the Coaches Award, the All-State Africa Good Works teammate. There you get on the team. Do those mean more to you than the athletic awards
Uh,
did?
100%, man. You got to think about it. Like, I got these awards based on how much I care about my community. And that's the
Yeah,
only thing I can really say that really matters most, right? Because again, if you do everything for yourself, then that makes you a selfish person. So all I've ever wanted to be was a superhero. If y'all didn't forget that, right? So
Yeah, I got
getting
it.
that opportunity to play that role and to be that superhero while I was playing, man, that means more than getting an accolade or winning an ACC championship.
what,
Okay, maybe not as much as that, but about
that was
around
pretty
there.
good.
About
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good
maybe
too,
around
right?
that. Yeah, that was
That
pretty
was
nice,
pretty good
man.
too.
Why a
That one was pretty
superhero?
cool.
Like what were you seeing, or what was modeled, or what wasn't modeled that made you think I want to be a superhero?
Oh man, I struggled, bro. I struggled heavy. Struggled a lot as a kid growing up. Mom worked 3 jobs. Dad did everything that he could while he could, but they weren't together, so things got a little bit wishy-washy there. So I seen
Okay.
everything that I didn't have, how I was treated. I moved from the city of Pittsburgh to a real rural area, so anything that involved a black African American man, I was always the guy that was picked out of the crowd, right? Always the person that was constantly uh, bullied in a way, which was crazy to me because you were being the athlete who got scholarships, but you're still being bullied because of the color that you have, right?
Okay.
So like seeing that type of stuff and being a part of so much negativity, I was like, man, I'm tired of this, man. Like I deserve to be happy. You know what I mean? I deserve to fight for my happiness. I deserve to be anywhere that I want to be. So I start fighting for it, man. I start talking to people. I start helping people, and it starts shocking people because they don't expect it when they first met me, right? Like you see me as the athlete, but you don't really know who I was as a man, right? So I had to really make changes, and I just started going on this journey of just really wanting to make change, bro. And I think when it really kicked in and kicked up is when I got injured for the first time, completely blew out my knee. Um, I had choices to make, man. I was being told I was going to be drafted in the 3rd round the year before. If I just stayed on my right moves, stayed on my right task, and do everything that I can to make sure that I grinded, I was going to get an opportunity to go play in the league. And then I blow out my knee so badly that that career or that year was over, right? So I had to find a way, bro. And at that point, I was like, I know I'm not the only person feeling the way that I feel right now. I know I'm not the only person out here hurting. So I made an organization called Love, standing for Living Out Victoriously Every Day, to help out student athletes with depression and anxiety through injury, right? So created a big group, and we ended up helping out anywhere between like 200 to 400 student athletes, man. And
Wow.
it was amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Were you
awesome.
surprised to find out there were so many people that were feeling a similar way that you were, whether it's from the pressure or having an injury disrupt your journey?
Honestly, like you got to think about it at this time, right? When this all happened, this was back in 2017 when mental health wasn't the cool thing to do.
Yeah.
Like everybody talks about mental health, like they've been talking about it forever, which it
Oh,
low key
I know.
bothers me.
Yeah,
It bothers me
I
because like
agree.
when it wasn't cool, I was out here struggling, right? People would laugh at me because I was talking about something that was deep and intimate to me, right? So,
Is that when you say people were laughing at you? Was it a lot of the guys on the team because you're
oh
made
yeah,
up
bro.
different when you're a football player, right? You don't want to
Yeah.
admit weakness.
Right. And then I end up helping those same dudes who laughed at me, which was even more hilarious, who were in the back end, man, because it was just like I took something that was so negative and was doing everything I could to make it positive. So I started putting myself around the right people, start talking to the right people. I got guys to open up that would never open up to anybody on this planet, right? So it was that was my blessing, man. It wasn't the awards, it wasn't any of that. It was to see the people's lives in front of me that were actually changing.
Okay. And unlocking that gift that you realized you had.
Yes,
I was
sir.
going to say, like, if you can turn one kid's direction the right way instead of, we see it every day, all the ones that go the wrong way.
Right.
That's got to feel really good if you've got, hundreds of those kids that look up to you, Trey, and that's the road that you're going to take them down. So,
I
hats off, man.
appreciate that, man. That's definitely it was a blessing, man. That's all I could say. It was definitely a blessing. There was so much going on. I'm still sitting here thinking about it now. Like it shocks me that all that stuff even happened, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you, but I just enjoy helping people. It really ain't about any of the accolades or any of the awards or any of that, bro. It was just I like helping people. I like seeing people smile. So
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's amazing, dude. So we when I was in the office in Pittsburgh a month or two ago, you grabbed me and you were sharing some stuff that it seemed like you were surprised to learn. I was definitely surprised to learn about how high the depression rates and the suicide rates are in construction. And
yeah,
I guess there's some parallels there with sports, but a lot of stuff that's kind of a standalone in our world, in our industry. Would you share a little bit about that? Because I mean, it blew me away. That was a powerful conversation.
100%, man. I'm gonna share some stats with you guys if you don't mind.
No, please.
Um, First stat is about 53.3 fall to suicide out of 100,000 in just contracting alone. Right, that's just contractors around the country. Which is
Wow.
like one of the things that's very terrifying is because of think about that, right? How many people do we personally know now working in the pavement group that could possibly be thinking about this? That's over 50%. So that's
Hmm.
almost half of the people that you know at some point in time have thought about it or successfully done it, which is very terrifying. Then we go back to hold on, let me see this one right here. So it says right here, to be exact, right? Out of those 53, about 52.8 died by firearm.
Okay. Wow.
That's terrifying, right? And then on top of that, because dominant as well as there's a big problem with substance abuse, which I had no
Sure.
idea in terms of just how much of a problem that substance abuse was in terms of being a contractor. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, wow, these guys get laid off. They're going long months without getting paid,
Yep.
right? And then a household that now changes due to the fact that when you are working, bro, you're working crazy hours. So it's like you're coming back to basically a foreign territory, and then you're expected to now come back to the realm of your family. It's difficult, man. It's the same thing for some coaches. You know what I'm saying out there. It's a very difficult realm to live in. And then on top of that, you put these guys in 100 and something degree weather during the summer. You
Sure.
know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's a very stressful job. And now seeing that and reading some of the stats, it's crazy. Like just looking at some of them right now. Hold on, I got one more for you. That's kind of a little bit even crazier than that. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I'm gonna send it to you right now. It says about 83% of construction workers have struggled with mental health.
83%.
83% in some
83%.
sort. And
Wow.
this is what's even crazy about that 83%. Not every single person comes out and says that I'm struggling.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And for the guys who have some, this is for the people who've actually spoken up, but this is also not the people that have not spoken up. Now, let's be realistic, bro. We all go through tough times and go through things very difficult, right? But
Yeah.
in such a cruel world, we're expected to still just figure it out.
No, 100%.
Especially in contracting, right? Everywhere else is starting to kind of be more accepting, but let's be honest, we're the manly of the manliest in the
No,
terms of contracting, right? So
it's the same thing. It's just the
Right.
conversation's just getting started.
just
That,
getting
that
started.
financial uncertainty was something that you would pointed out, and I never really thought about that. The impact that can have because you don't some trades you don't know when the next job is. You get
Right.
laid off quite often, right? And what that spiral can kind of lead to, and maybe that's something that leadership in construction and voices like yourself that's somewhere to start is financial literacy with folks that are in construction, helping folks. When you get into it, help people understand how to manage their money. I'm sure
100%.
there's some companies that do that are good at it and others that aren't. But it's the wild west out there in large parts still. Have you seen a lot of that, Tony? Where people fall into depression, they fall into drugs. They
Yeah.
don't know how to manage their money because of the sort of uncertain nature of construction.
Yeah, it's kind of the construction is, unfortunately, it's not the guys that finished with 4.0s and stuff like that, right?
Right.
You've got the guys that they've didn't choose construction; they almost have to do it, right?
Hmm.
And you're starting out, you're living paycheck to paycheck, right? And then, like you said, that job's over or that season's over, and these guys aren't the ones that are planning and can put hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank. So, it's a constant struggle from week to week with a lot of these guys. And then if you get into or you hurt yourself or you get into the substance abuse of it, it just spirals a whole different way. So that's kind of my take on the construction industry,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
for sure. And there's injuries too, because it's physical work. A lot of injuries that can sideline people and then turn them on to, painkillers and that sort of thing too. And
Yeah.
it's all got to be well. It's good that the conversation's happening to some degree, but
I was going to
obviously,
say, but it's kind of cool that we can have someone like you, Trey, that in other companies we work with, Todd, like we just went and did the work. Now we have a whole arm that can concentrate on, what are some of the things that are needed in the construction industry, and then the pavement group can shift gears and help that way. So
yeah, sure.
that's it. It's a kind of interesting dynamic that we're bringing here, and if we can all come together and help out the construction industry some way somehow, whether it be financially or mental health or counseling or whatever, Trey's I see the gear spinning up there. I
Yeah,
know that
it's
that's something
spinning
he wants to
crazy right
bring.
now.
Yeah, man,
Well,
It's
we've
definitely
got a long arm. We got a deep reach too as a company,
definitely.
and being part of the top contractor school that Brian started, fortunately, can have a lot of good impact. And I know that a lot of those conversations are already happening, and you're going to be front and center, Trey, obviously. So I love what you bring to that, and it's so important, man. It's just
Yeah,
it's cool. That's your journey. That's what you're dedicating your life to. So
I
thank you for
appreciate that,
being
man.
here and doing it with us.
I
No
Um,
appreciate
problem,
it,
man.
Trey.
Yeah, man. So you've got an event coming up. I want to promote this a little bit. So Vinny that works with
Oh
us
man,
as well, who's an artist. This guy is insanely talented. It's athletic aesthetic is the name of his brand, correct?
Yes, sir.
I,
I
I
want to make sure
think
I'm saying that right.
insane is it's not even the right term. Like as far as talent goes, like there's got to be something higher than insane, right?
Yeah. There could be
I,
just
I,
bananas.
I don't know what that is,
Banana?
but
B-A-N-A-N-A-S, bananas,
nah,
perhaps. I
dude,
don't know.
be
But he is. Well, I'm always fascinated by people that have a talent that I know I'll never in my life. Like I could paint, 500 hours in a row. I'm never going to get close to what he's doing. Like he's
nah,
just got
ever,
a
never.
gift and he's got an eye and it's just so cool. So Trey and Vinny are teaming up and they're putting on this really cool event pre Super Bowl. Kind of
Yes,
a lot
sir.
of the theme is around football and the Super Bowl, right?
Yes, sir.
Will you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so everything that we're doing right now, again, it goes back into that philanthropy part that we all love and we all know that over here at TPG, man. And we're giving all the general admission to Steel City Impact, which is also giving back to the Mar Hamlin's town and little city over there in McKees Rocks. So what we're trying to do is doing an art expedition where people can come in, check out the art. We're going to do a little show to give love to Steel City Impact as well. And it's going to be a good time, man. There's going to be drinks. There's going to be people. It's going to be a good time. There's going to be smiles, man. And that's what I'm really excited
That's
for.
awesome.
But I think the best part about it overall is every single person who buys a ticket is donating directly to Steel City Impact. So all these funds are going over to organizations who are geared towards helping out that one place that is considered the worst place in PA.
Yeah,
All these funds are going directly over there to the people who are directly
that's
helping those
awesome.
people. So that's where I feel like what we're doing is so powerful. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Because the ROI on it is that the people that go ahead and see this are now going to want to invest even more into giving back, right? And that's the goal, man, is to show people that you can give back without expecting anything. You know what I mean? Just give back because you care. And it's not that hard to care. It's not.
No,
Right. So I
It's
know
not.
this is local, Trey, in Pittsburgh. Is there a way for anybody outside of the Pittsburgh area to participate?
Yeah, so for sure, man. If you go on our website, and I believe that it's going to be on the TPG website here soon in the next couple of days, If you go directly to the link that's going to be there, there's going to be a link that allows you to buy general admission tickets. If you can't come, you can't be there. Just buy as many tickets as you possibly can, as in your donation, and that's going directly to Steel City Impact. So you'll be helping them out just by buying a simple ticket.
Awesome.
That's
I
cool.
think that this production of this podcast will probably be after the event, but maybe there's the way we can put something on there of how people can donate to the Steel City in the
Oh,
future
no.
too.
We'll get this one out
For
before.
sure.
We'll
All
get this
right,
out
man.
before. Yeah,
Casey's
I
the
got
man.
faith. Casey on the ones and twos over there. I got faith in Casey. He's going to get this thing out
Yeah.
quick. Then we'll have a graphic up, and we'll link in the comments, and you can smash that subscribe button and all the things you're supposed to do with these. But we'll definitely get the information out to everybody so they can buy tickets.
Let's do it, man. I think it's necessary. You're going to help a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. Gentleman, I wish I could remember his name, from Steel City Impact brought a bunch of high school kids to the top contractor event at Heinz Field, or whatever it's called now, for the Steelers Stadium there last summer, and had a chance to meet them, and just great kids. They were engaged. They were asking a lot of great questions. Your friend Will James was there and spoke, and it was pretty neat. And you just kind of got a sense that, man, there's something going on here. This is pretty special, and to support it, I mean, $10, $20, I mean, crying out loud. That's silly.
Exactly.
Get behind this. You really are supporting an amazing cause. It's
Absolutely.
great. All good. Okay. Well, Trey Tipton Day. I was looking forward to this one. This was a lot of fun. You kicked off our 2023 season here. Now that Tony and I are healthy as well. And
See, I got a different name for it, Todd.
okay,
We're gonna call it Dr. Trey Day.
Dr. Trey. Fair enough. I mean, we could have some copyright. This,
Yeah, we
seemed
may. Hey,
like
Casey,
15 to 20 people.
Casey, check into that before you put that out there.
You might have to emphasize the T a little bit.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, there we go. Dr. Trey. There we go.
There you go.
I like that. Now, this was a lot of fun, though, man. And love learning more about you as we go along. Glad you're a part of the team. Tony, anything to take us home with here?
No, I just wanted to thank Trey. It brings an interesting perspective to the construction industry and what we're doing at TPG. Like I said, we used to never worry about this stuff, and now we're directly in the middle of it, and, helping the community and all that stuff. And it's a pretty good feeling on this end.
Yeah, 100%. All good. All right. Well, thank you again for tuning in to the Pavement Group podcast. Never, ever nailed an outro. The Pavement Group podcast. We're talking lots. We'll see you next time. Thank you, everybody.